YouTube, welcome back. We're going to do a quick clip here so that I can turn it into a chat command, but also share it with you in video format. This is my thoughts on Season 2 after playing for too many hours on day 1, currently hour 13 or 14. Um, what what do I want to do with the Weaver tree? What am I going to do with it? And then what are my recommendations to you? So, in the Weaver tree, I think we're going to see one basic skeleton pop up. The basic skeleton for the Weaver tree is that all these imprint nodes are very high value, and they allow you to basically have smart loot where we don't really have smart loot in the rest of Last Epoch. So, like, Diablo players will come to Last Epoch and they'll say things like, "Why is my Primalist dropping rogue gear?" Well, it's because maybe you want to play rogue someday. But for the rest of us, so if you want to tailor the kind of loot that drops, for me, I'm going to farm a red ring of Atlaria, and then I'm going to put a red ring down here, and red ring up here, and red ring over here, and I'm going to try to get as many red rings as possible, because I'm in COF and I want red rings. But in the meantime, you could just use these for non-red ring of Atlaria purposes, and you could just try to get more copies of the items that you are looking for. So I think the outline of your Weaver skill tree, the skeleton of your Weaver skill tree, is going to look like cluster jewels in Path of Exile. You're gonna branch out to the outside, and then you're gonna like hog all the outside. And the question is like, which ins or like which connection are you skipping? You know what I mean? Because like you're not gonna make a full circle. Like some of those nodes you're gonna skip. That said, what do I think you're gonna skip? There's a couple of decisions that you need to make. There's nodes over here for the super arenas. And then there's nodes right here to skip all arenas. So do you invest in these or are you going to skip them? Arena does feel better in Season 2. They sped up the monsters and they sped up how quickly they spawn. And it's actually an enjoyable experience. On the other hand, there's still the issue of arenas intentionally not dropping as much loot, because this is probably archaic at this point, but there's a stance from the past from EHG that arenas should not drop loot on the ground because you are busy focusing on the tense situation that is the arena echo and you're trying to stay alive and focus. I'm not really trying to stay alive and focus. I'm just trying to blast monsters, but that's just me. So there's still like the issue of the loot, and I wanted to put champion monsters into my arena echoes and then like farm the champion affixes because I thought they'd be fun. I'm not sure if champion affixes drop. I don't think champions drop champion affixes in arena echoes. Kind of feels like they don't. On top of that, there's other echoes that I want to be doing instead. I want to like find exalted items. I want to find more of this echo that we'll talk about in just a moment here. I want to do other stuff. I want to interact more with the like woven echoes and the cemeteries and the tombs and whatnot. And like the tombs, notably, they don't spawn here, so kind of like pick what you're doing. So you need to choose arena, right? So you have the skeleton of connecting all the imprint nodes. You have, are you going to do arena or not? My initial impression was that the answer is yes. I'm going to pivot my Weaver skill tree to say no arena. I'm going to turn it off. Beacons are another binary thing. You can either turn beacons on, or you can turn beacons off. If you turn beacons off, you have a greater density of other stuff that's going on there instead. But if you turn beacons on, then you get access to these nodes over here. Technically, you could turn beacons off and still gain access to these nodes over here. It's just a little bit more awkward. So I'm going to turn beacons off because I don't prioritize them. I'm going to turn them off. I'm going to turn this off. Other things that matter to you are like which mechanic, which encounters do you care about? And this is like, maybe you can min-max this for capitalism or Merchant Guild gamers. You could have fun. So there's exiled mages on the top left. There's nemesis on the top right. There's loot lizards on the bottom right. And then the bottom left seems to be like general stuff. Like I like a lot of the nodes on the bottom left. just stuff, just like general core game mechanics and whatnot. So for me, I'm gonna skip these nodes, which means that when I'm making my circle is gonna look something like this. So I am gonna, oh sorry, not this node. I'm gonna take this node for skipping arenas. I'm gonna loop around this side. I do like Nemesis personally, so I'm gonna do a bunch of Nemesis stuff there. I'm gonna take all those nodes, spend extra points in. I'm also going to take this node. I'm not sure it's worthwhile in terms of point expenditure to get like 1 point here, 1 point here. But this node says that the Shade of Orobis can spawn in one of your echoes, which sounds awesome. So I'm gonna do it because I like having fun. That's all I got for you. There's a couple nodes that have pack size. I think all the pack size nodes are probably worthwhile. Like there's like just go control F pack size. You'll see the nodes that I'm talking about. And then I think it's this node down here. I'm pretty sure that this is the one that gives you Uber Aberoth. So if you care about that kind of thing, pretty sure this is how you gain access to it. Is that it? Is that my complete opinion on it? As succinctly as possible? Yeah, that's basically it. Cool. If you have any questions, if you're doing it differently, let me know in the comments. Or you can tune into twitch.tv/PearThePig, where we might still be playing the game tomorrow. We've been live for a long time, but it's a lot of fun. So it's the best patch I've ever seen.